really important that we begin to change the mindset of young people to know that your vote counts.
They don't understand that the legislative arm of government is actually a co-equal arm of government.
We have an incredible amount of potential.
Whatever it is I was doing, because of my personal DNA, it had to be of an international standard.
Which is what, seriously speaking, is all about.
We've had 16 years of democracy, a little bit more. More Nigerians are aware that at least their votes can make a difference, but it appears that still less Nigerians realize that they do have a position and the power to be able to affect governance much more than voting. And one of those powers is ensuring that you keep people on their toes, the people you have elected. That's why on the show today, we are talking about that, what I call the first estate of the realm, the Citizens Panel. We're talking about the role and the office of the citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Before we get into the show proper, I would like you to hear and see some Nigerians and what they think about their roles in keeping government on their toes. Welcome. This is Seriously Speaking. So we're going to be talking about budget and citizens panel today on the show. But I'll start with that individual who didn't sit down waiting for somebody to solve the problems that he saw. He's originally an electrical engineer. He studied at the University of Agriculture. And when he finished, he started to work in the bank. So no surprises that after analyzing budgets for so long within a financial institution, he decided about 4 years ago now to say, you know what, I've got to help Nigerians understand better what these figures mean. I still remain lost, forgive me. So, but it's my pleasure to have Seun Onigbinde of Budget Nigeria with me in the studio today.
Yeah, I'm happy to see you.
It's nice to see you.
Nice to see you, yeah, nice to
Thanks
be
for
here.
keeping the time, even though you're down with malaria.
Oh, yeah.
Was it a desire to be an entrepreneur or a desire to make a difference that started it?
I think it was desire to make a difference. I finally now understood that to take an entrepreneurship to do that, because I didn't set out to be an entrepreneur. I just wanted to make a difference. I wanted to show people that there's a lot of things that go out there, but they don't know about it. Government, public finance. And you can't excuse that from the education system because we have an education system that doesn't teach that well enough.
Do you still feel a sense of hopelessness, even after doing this for 4 years? Are Nigerians buying into the idea of holding their governance accountable and understanding the figures? How are people using the figures that you're giving to them?
I think a lot of work needs to be done at the grassroots level. Because that's where the politicians, that's where they easily manipulate the citizens, with cheap gifts like a pack of rice, a pack of biscuits. It could be as small as that.
Yeah.
And that now affects voting decisions and even limits their ability to demand questions or ask for accountability. So how do we get people to say, like we all talk about the office of the citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? It's your own office. You should step into it. And the only way you step into it is ask questions. The budget, the contract, the project, what they promised you during campaign season. What's going to happen right now?
The first thing they will tell you is that we have not eaten. How can we be concerned about that? We're concerned about our daily bread. How do you get people to understand that their daily bread is very connected to understanding how the budgets work, for example?
Yep. For example, we started a campaign immediately after the election. It says, after the election, what next?
Yes.
And most of we did some radio jingles, some TV commercials to say, after the elections, you should ask questions. The problem is, the reason why these things don't happen around is because you allow the political class to just get away with it. And you're worried about what you're going to eat, what you're going to drink, what they're going to this, they're going to happen. Whereas more of your worry is the structures that will enable that. Is the road to your farm tarred? Do you have adequate hospitals? Do you have schools, public schools, standard public schools that your children could be better off than you in the long term? So the kind of questions that we try to provoke.
I think it's at this point, I would like us to engage with the citizens panel on our panel, because it's at this point that I realize that what people require is that place that you can voice your opinion and make your comments without anybody saying, you are the one that said I'm not doing well. Do you get what I mean?
Yes, exactly.
So, the citizens panel is planning something like that. So we'll take a break, and then I'll return and we'll discuss this thing further and let Nigerians understand how they can take advantage of both these opportunities online, like budget, for example, is available on the phone, and how they can at least make their voices heard and make a change. We'll be back. Remember, we are talking about the office of the citizen, and that's you. Yes, I did tell you about the Citizens Panel. I happen to know the company that is putting that together, and they're one of the lucky ones who managed to get on this show simply because I know them and I know the possibility of what they are working on. Now, a panel is like what you see here, myself and 3 people physically talking about an issue. But the Citizens Panel is going to be online, and we have somebody who is representing the company that does it. It's Index Consulting. Yes. And Mr. Jude is here. Jude, it's nice to have you on the show.
Thank
This
you,
is nice to be face-to-face now with an interviewer. You know, engineers are kind of, they're kind of reticent somehow. They understand numbers. You crunch numbers. You are an electrical, what's engineer?
No, chemical
engineering. So tell me, how did Index Consulting come about the whole idea of this Citizens Panel?
We have a platform, where we promote service excellence, mostly for corporate organizations.
You guys are basically consultants.
We're strategy, operations, and also research consulting firm. Part of what we do is to promote service excellence among corporate organizations. We've been doing this over the years, and at some point we were like, how do we take this to the next level to help citizens and also government? So what we did was to extend, like an extension of our corporate service, to
a public forum.
Yeah, to public.
Well, how does this work? Because I'm talking about governance now. Our concern, like what budget does is to break down numbers for us.
Okay.
What is Citizens Panel going to do for us? When we get these numbers, for example, now I know that, let me just use a random state. Maybe, okay, federal government has 4 trillion to spend. Yeah. How can the Citizens Panel help me monitor government?
Okay, well, let me define what the Citizen Panel is all about. First and foremost, we build a platform, so that citizens can talk to government, and government can also listen to them. So we built a platform for people to sign up and also log in, profile their expectations, rate the performance of their government, be it at the local, state, and also at the federal level. They can do all those and then produce, reports out of all the inputs by the citizens.
Now, how do we convince Nigerians? What is that thing you would tell Nigerians to make them understand that their office is more important? Given your experience of doing this thing for 4 years, have they grown? Have you grown in terms of, besides awareness or people taking advantage of the platform that you give to them?
Yeah, we have a story we did in Iwoye Ilogbo. It's like a 15-minute drive from Ota. Yeah, and it was a primary school. Like close to 300 students in 2 classrooms in the most dehumanizing condition. And we spoke to the community that, interestingly, we found that there's a project in the boy that the primary school was supposed to be constructed by the constituency, the part of the constituency project. Who was in Abuja? It was the senator, Kamal Odusin, that was his name. And we told them, and we write a letter to the senator.
You know that there's money they're supposed to have fixed this school.
And we wrote a letter to Senator Kamal to say, we got them. We didn't decide to write the letter because we want that inclusion to show that they are the ones that wanted. And after they were not responding, but it got to a time where the heat was coming up on them. And he got responded. He had to call the MDG office, who was supposed to build the school. And he got the school built. Yeah.
That's one success story.
Yeah.
Maybe if they had gotten on that Citizens Panel, I don't know, they can go and complain.
Yeah, so we feel that if people know, he empowers them to ask questions. He empowers them to improve that conversation. Now, the problem starts with, is government even willing to provide us information? Because you have state budgets, for instance. State budgets are not that open. Most state budgets, you don't see them to the later part of the year. And
when the year is almost
gone. So when do you raise awareness? When they will tell you the budget expires by December. Yeah.
So I thank you very much for being very good citizens of Nigeria.
Thank you.
And I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
And don't forget, I'll scroll their contacts again so that you can get access to it, and the power is in your hands. Stop complaining, start doing something, and lend your voice to the campaign to get democracy work better in Nigeria. We'll see you again next week. Thanks for watching.